Hello, welcome back to All for United WFC. It's nearly there on a Manchester derby, and it's first time at Old Trafford. We're going to get into all that. The attendance looks like it's going to be obviously a record for Old Trafford, potentially a record for the fixture as well. We're not far off that. Obviously held currently by obviously Man City at the Etihad. So we're going to get into all that and things like that. But we will start, as I'm sure many of you have probably seen on Twitter, because we've posted about it a lot in the last less than 24 hours, and you can see it right there. I thought I'd put it so it's easily for people to see. And there's a few comments about it already. And also, we've got Mia with us as well, who also has an award with her from Woso Vanval as well. So we're going to get into, we're just going to talk a little bit about that. And obviously, it doesn't really mean anything to what changes and things like that, but just, I guess, a thanks from myself. Firstly, yeah, I was as shocked as anybody when they read our name out. It's not something I ever thought was going to be possible. When I saw that list of amazing careers, everyone on that list, could easily have won that and been in the top three. So the fact that we are one of those, absolutely incredible. Obviously, congrats to Alex and girls on the ball as well, who obviously got the top two spots. But yeah, unbelievable night. It's me and Mia are absolutely shattered. It was a long one. We don't need to see any photo or video evidence of the night. So yeah, just a massive thanks from myself, everyone in the comments that voted for us, whether you voted for us or not, whether you continue to support us, whether that's on Twitter, Instagram, or on here in the live chat, or just watch us along and watch the show. It's all appreciated. Barry, you've unmuted yourself. Do you want to?
Well, I have unmuted myself because I have to do my traditional interjection because I know you won't do it. And I just want to get it on here so it's on for posterity, because there's things that I say backstage and there's things that I say on WhatsApp that I don't put out here, to be brutally honest. And that's because when we're out here public facing and we're talking about Connor, it's literally only to mock his massive quip or the fact he's unable to eat food correctly, or that he doesn't use his eyes properly either to watch brilliant films like The Lion King. But we need to take a moment genuinely just to point out that this really has only come about because of the work of one man, which is indeed Mr. Connor over there. He's very good at trying to share all of the responsibility. He really does. And, he says how great we all are. And yes, he's right. We do lots of stuff. I try and bring the humour. Charlie obviously bringing the glamour and the knowledge and all of that jazz. But the simple fact is that none of this happens. Drop out, Barry. Good. Haven't. Excellent. The thing about Connor is that he just genuinely is a nice bloke. He really is. What you see on the screen is what you get. He's just a decent bloke. And that's been spotted by so many people across women's football, and the way in which he has built the network, the way in which he has surrounded the channel with fantastic people, whether they be journalists, whether they be just knowledgeable fans from across women's football. It really is a joy to behold, and it's not been easy for Connor. He's had his good times and his bad times, but it's not been an easy year. And whilst we're there to support him, absolutely, I just want to say on behalf, I think, of everyone at the channel that isn't Connor, that you are an absolute bloody legend. You are really superb, and as much as you share this with everybody and say it's all part of ours, this is 100% down to the work and the effort that you've put in building such a fantastic team. And genuinely, we love you. We absolutely adore you. You're amazing. Well done. And here's to silver maybe next year. Just got to knock off that Alex Bayless. I don't know how we can do that, but I'm sure we'll manage it somehow.
Oh, God, you're going to make me go red and emotional like it was about 24 hours ago. But no, I do appreciate it. As I put on my tweet earlier, I think it's a lot of work goes into this. People don't see it. I think Barry's mentioned it before. Sometimes we're up until gone midnight sorting shows out and planning things. Obviously, the predictions league as well needs running. All the things behind the scenes we do on that with the spreadsheets and everything else. It is a lot of work. So to get that obviously recognition yesterday as I may tweet the video reaction or the pitch or whatever. I might do. I don't know. It was filmed. I just couldn't believe it, to be honest. And then equally, Mia, I'll throw it over to yourself before I come back to you, Charlie. I equally couldn't believe I got back to the table. We'd done all of our photo shoots and everything else, with Jess and Andrew, to find out you've got silver as well. And then you set me off.
It was the perfect. We'd obviously been speaking since we both found out that we were nominated. about how incredible it would be if both of us got something out of the night. And we've said earlier as well that neither of us expected to come away with anything, and the fact that we are rubbing shoulders with such huge content creators and organizations in itself is so impressive. But for then us both to come away with something is just unreal. And yeah, obviously I back everything that Barry's just said, and we literally had the best night ever. I will be thinking about it for years to come. So yeah, roll on next year. Let's do it all again.
I was going to say, I don't think I can repeat what I said to you when I came over to your table when I realised that you'd won. There's a few expletives in there, but it was positive, obviously. But yeah, as we said, we've been manifesting this for such a long time, and yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I don't think it's really sunk into me, to be honest. It might do after the derby, after this mental week has calmed down. Me and Jess were on Paddock, by the way, the other day. That went out yesterday. That happened in the middle of all of this. But Charlie, if you sound like you've got anything to add on, obviously this, unfortunately, obviously you and Barry weren't there. You should have been there, obviously, but planning of the FCA's meaning on a Thursday night, it makes it a little bit difficult to get up to Anfield. But yeah, anything to add on that front?
Yeah, just echoing a little bit, and with what Barry's saying, obviously it's been a couple of years now, and it's such a wonderful channel and group of people to be a part of. It really enhances the experience of following women's football, and Connor will always put everyone else in the limelight, and he's thanking everyone. Really, I just rock up on a Monday and sometimes Friday and have a chat with my mates about football. Like, it's dead easy for me. I just come and have a discussion, have a nice time. But there is an incredible amount of work that goes on behind the scenes for something that is just a passion project. It's not something that Connor sort of earns money for or has additional time to do. It'll be the same for me as well, I'm sure. It's just through the love of it. And we talk about AFU, it's the women's side, what you won the award for, but there's also the additional responsibility of the men's channel. There's other things that come with it. So it's a massive responsibility that loads of people get so much joy out of, and that's why you can see what's coming through in the comments now. So yeah, just a wonderful experience. So glad that it exists, and the way it's brought so many people together has been brilliant. So I'm just saying thank you for the channel, really, rather than saying, oh, well done me. I just get to chat rubbish about football, which is lovely. All of the hard work is happening elsewhere, and it's just a massive well done to everyone involved, and Mia, to you as well. Just really nice for you all to get the recognition that you deserve, I think.
I want to know how you get this job whereby you just rock up and don't have any of the behind the scenes stuff. Where did you apply for that one?
It's amazing. It's amazing. Just turn up. I even put some shirts out today. I thought I'll make an effort. 1, 2, 3. There isn't a fourth, just a gap behind me. So that's why I'm sitting here.
There we are. It's yeah, no, I've got nothing really to add. As I said, for me personally, I just don't. I agree. That's why we do it. You know, we want people to come on and just, whether that's United fans, obviously we try and get opposition fans on where we can, especially for previews and things like that, which we'll get into in a second. But ultimately, we just want a space for fans to come on and talk, you know, and we saw that yesterday. Obviously, the three of us that went, me, Jess and Andrew, spent a lot of time, obviously, with Mia and the Vavel lot, obviously, with Alex and Girls on the Ball. Nancy Gillan, by the way, absolute legend, spent a lot of the night with us as well. You know, these kinds of people, that's what we create and that we want to create. That's the reason why we do this, that community. I say it all the time. It's not just a word I say for the sake of it. That is what we're trying to build. And I think, Charlie, you said it on one of your very early shows. It makes the match day experience better because you can come on, you can have a debrief about the game, you can rant if you want, and you know we have these spaces to be able to talk about as well. There was a comment a bit further I just wanted to quickly get to before we move on. Funny you say this, John. So Mia gave me a little present yesterday. So obviously at the awards, we all got a pack of Panini or cards, the playing card. And would you believe it? Look who. Look who was packed.
They must have known.
No. Give
yesterday.
over.
What
Really?
chances?
I could not believe it.
Side by side, Man United, Connor Roberts. Who would have thought?
In the same pack.
So I made sure I kept hold of these because, yeah, that.
Did anyone get a golden baller?
I think Andrew might have done, but we gave ours away because there was a parent that wanted them for her kids. So I think we gave a lot of ours away, but there's no way I was giving these two away. I was keeping hold of these.
Impressive. I think there's a few points here. Imara making a good point here. I think his tie was the right size.
It was.
It's just that couldn't get it over his hair properly, so it just sort of moved up a little bit, really. So it's a bit of a trickier one. But they did all look very dapper.
Just on that, did anyone see the picture? Obviously, Stefan, who you might have seen the picture on, obviously the Sports Social Podcast Network, who we work with on here, one of our partners on the channel. Obviously met Stefan and Laura there yesterday. Stefan's hair, by the way, taller than mine. So met somebody with a taller quiff than me.
This has been noted. Best photos from last night. We couldn't believe this either. Yeah. They actually got a ruler out. It was marginally bigger, but this is because you see Connor had it cut. I think he knew deep down this was coming. So fair play. Yeah.
Poor Stefan.
The last thing I want to say, you're quite right. She's not just better at negotiating contracts. She was just better full stop. You could have stopped it better. But there you go.
I just rock up and smile. Ting.
I wish we could all do that.
No, don't. Don't push my hair, though. Don't push my hair. What's the point?
Oh, God. I don't know what else is going on here. Yes.
Oh, Mia's risen from the dead.
I'm still dead. I'd like to confirm I'm still dead. I've just moved a bit.
Like Prime Undertaker there.
Oh, it's not good. I'm not good. The Lucasade's out.
But before we move on to Man City, Mia, do you want to tell everyone what time we got in last night? Or this morning, I should say.
Connor. I think we got in at about 4:30 in the morning. And then
that's about right.
We didn't really sleep because there was a lot of chatting going on, which I wasn't massively engaged in, and I, did kick everyone out in the end. But yeah, it's been a long night, not a lot of sleep, quite a lot of alcohol. Rightly so. Look at those plaques.
Exactly.
It's worth it.
It certainly was. It certainly was a great night, and obviously, congrats to everyone else who won awards as well. Obviously, her game too, picking up a few, and just everyone else that was nominated. It was great to see on that front.
What did you sing on the karaoke?
Oh, I didn't. There was no chance I was getting up on that karaoke.
What would you sing?
I'll see. All the way there, Jess was like, "Oh, you need to do Elvis." Like Elvis was the one, and I was like, ugh. Yeah, Elvis is a hard. That's a hard.
I
those songs.
Elvis if I were you, because you would have been forced to sound like him then, because people would have thought you were a genuine tribute act.
Yeah. What's your karaoke song, Bazza? Have you thought about it?
Well, I have a few. Sometimes I go Summer of '69 if I'm feeling a bit rocky. Sometimes Maggie May, like a bit of that as well, or Mac the Knife if it's for the oldies. So yeah.
Nice.
Go on, Charlie. What would you go for?
Yeah, it was only because I wanted to share mine, so I thought it's polite to ask someone else theirs first. I like, Connor won't have heard of this person. Who's too young. Pat Benatar, Love is a Battlefield, which actually, was probably before my time, but I love that tune. Also, a bit of Heart Alone. Love an 80s power ballad.
Interesting choices. Just very quick.
Or O-Town. O-Town is the other option.
Oh God, we're back to that again. just on this, Mia, very quickly, because I was going through some video because we were going to vlog it. I'm not going to put a vlog out because there wasn't as many videos as I put together. It would just be ridiculously short. But we did film something, Mia, on the way out of Anfield. I don't know how much you remember of this, and you were saying what. I won't say the rest of it, but you were saying about what song you were going to sing. And you went from, you were dead on, you were going to sing Waterloo, and then you went to Twist and Shout when we got there.
Yeah,
how did that, like...
You've just jogged my memory a little bit there, Connor, because I don't remember. I remember you getting your phone out, but I don't remember what we was talking about.
I don't think it's suitable for here. But yeah, you were talking about your song, and I'm just intrigued because, like I said, you went from Waterloo to Twist and
Yeah.
Shout, which is quite
I
two opposite
don't
ends of
I
the.
think I knew what I was talking about, to be fair. So that would make sense. Oh god.
Yeah. Jess wanted to do the song out of Shrek, but we didn't get that far.
What do
Indeed
you
it was.
mean? What do you mean when you say the song out of Shrek?
Is it all? Is it All Star?
Yeah, it's all
I think
stuff.
what the
It's All
song is.
Stars,
Yeah,
yes.
that one. Yeah, that one. That's what Jess wanted to do, but we didn't get
Is
that.
but it's an actual song? It's not just.
Yeah, I know, but it was easier just to say the song.
It's a
No,
genuine
but
song,
I'm just
yeah.
checking that Connor's not thinking it was just the Shrek song. That's what I was checking.
I made just for Shrek.
Yeah,
I'm just amazed to see Shrek.
Yes, and I'll have to. I don't even think I've showed you lot, but yeah, there was a few videos of us walking out that I was trying to film down the escalators on the way out, which yeah, it's just not. It wasn't as suitable as I thought a vlog might.
Can we
Yeah.
see them on Sunday? If we don't, can we just see them?
I'll forget
Can I
that. He's
just
put him in
see
the group chat after this.
Potentially. Yeah, just very quickly, Paul. No, it wasn't. It was pie and mash that was the food of choice.
Okay.
Unless you were vegetarian, 'cause I think I can't remember what pie it was. Was it chicken and mushroom? I think
It was about that big.
Oh, it was tiny.
About that big and that big.
Vegetarian.
I can't remember. Someone on our table had a vegetarian as well, but I can't remember what it was.
Did they not have just done a vegetable pie? Why did they need to go, oh no, you can't have pie, you vegetarians, you?
It wasn't very. It was. Listen, I'm not complaining, but it wasn't very nice.
No,
I also
you
thought it was
shouldn't.
3 courses as well. Like we got given a bit of bread, then we got a pie that big, and then that was it. I thought, well, what? We're not gonna have any dessert? We was just sitting there waiting, like.
No pudding.
Andrew was picking up about that as well. If he's still in the comments, Andrew wasn't
What the
very
hell?
happy. There wasn't a follow up.
That's the best course.
I have a funny
Exactly.
feeling that their dessert was getting silver and bronze.
To be
I'll
fair,
take
yes.
yeah.
Oh
Nothing
yeah.
sweeter.
Yeah, take that.
I can't believe we're 20 minutes in and the views are going up. Like, and people are just watching us talk about last night and what we ate, and what karaoke song choice we listened to, and all that kind of thing. Yeah, and mental. I think you just brought this on screen, but it was, and I'll leave it up to Mia to whether she wants to release the footage of that because it was top tier. It was very good to end off the night as well. That was the last song that we were in there for.
Oh my word, the crescendo, amazing.
Oh, it certainly was. It was quite something. I don't know where we go from here. Should we talk about
There's
the
a
derby?
game. There's some sort of game happening.
I was gonna say, this week has been absolutely mental.
Tiddly winks.
So let's move on to that then. Obviously, big game obviously on Sunday. Manchester Derby, Old Trafford. As obviously I mentioned the attendance, so we'll start there. And Charlie, I'll come over to yourself. And obviously, we know that there's just over 40 sold. We don't know to the exact how many that is.
Yeah.
The current record, I think, is City at the Etihad. I think it was 44, so we're not far off that one. The WSL record's into the 50s, which is obviously by Arsenal, which I don't think we're going to get on this occasion.
Well, that ticket sold. Their ticket sold was 50 odd.
Right, yeah. There's a whole other argument about attended versus sold, isn't it? So,
Wanted to put that one in there. Go on.
But there was a few, obviously, I guess, murmurings before that the ticket sales weren't going as well. Are you surprised that it's sold this well? Are you happy, obviously, that it's going to be a lot? And I guess the general feeling around this game being at Old Trafford, because we know there's also going to be a light show, which divides opinion. But yeah, just how are you feeling, obviously, with what you're seeing leading up to the game?
Yeah, I'm really pleased. 40 plus thousand. It'd be nice if we can beat the 44 that went to the Etihad. It would be helpful if Man City bothered to sell any of their tickets, because obviously 10% of the ticket sales at the Etihad were United. Oh no, the 10% away allocation at the Etihad was United fans, but there was another 20,000 United fans scattered around that stadium. So it'd be really helpful if City sold their away tickets. That would always be helpful. I was really excited. It will be nice for them to come out and that whole bottom tier is sold, and obviously they're starting to open up the second tier, which is brilliant. And it was the right opponent, the right opposition for once, to be up against someone that's got that sort of tribal rivalry is important. Light show, a bit of I go to the 100. I'm quite partial to like a flame throwing type box. I'm happy with that. But I think the 90 minutes is sacrosanct. That's where I'm hoping there's not going to be a band and stuff. I could do without that in the 90 minutes. But do you know what? They can do what they like before and after if it gets people in. When we went to Villa Park first game of the season, I went with the whole family. And we had quite a nice time for once when we all went together. And they had loads of bits and pieces going on before the game for kids and stuff. And it kept them entertained. So I've no issue with that. But it needs to be very tribal when that whistle blows. But yeah, the more people in there, the better.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that in just a second. So it's obviously the atmosphere and what we expect. Obviously, we know obviously what LSV can be like compared to Old Trafford. So we'll get to that in just a second. But Barry, for yourself, obviously attendance looking pretty good. It should break the record, obviously, for us at Old Trafford. You know, with over 40 sold, you would like to think that's going to be our previous of, I think it's in the 30s, in its low 30s. For a previous record. So yeah, how are you feeling leading up to it with everything you've seen kind of online and the promotion of it and the ticket sales and all those kinds of things?
Well, it should, shouldn't it? I mean, we've banged this drum for a while that actually when you start getting, with all due respect, the bigger teams, the bigger names, the bigger rivalries on there, that it could draw more sort of neutral watchers of football and more neutral Manchester United fans rather than just the ones that are either sole women's fans or sole men's fans. They're more likely to want to come and watch those football matches because they recognise the rivalry. And, you know, whilst the rivalry of City is obviously a bit bigger than like the Liverpool rivalry in terms of women's football, because Liverpool obviously are quite new to it really and haven't performed to the level that the men's team has. I think it would be so very Manchester United to break the record straight away. It's the sort of thing that we've been doing. You know, you look at our attendances over the last 12 months, they've just absolutely skyrocketed. They really have. They've been amazing. We've been getting so many people coming into LSB, and we are turning in terms of attendance into one of the best attending clubs in the WSL, and possibly even the ones that are setting the standard and the way, to be honest, in terms of filling the crowds and filling the seats up. So yeah, for me, I think it'd be wonderful if we did do that. Charlie blew me away there with the it'd be helpful if City sold their tickets. I'm still giggling about that. But well, yes, I know you're right, but it was just funny. I didn't expect you to say it. It was so very good. It was a proper good motherly ticking off. I very much enjoyed it, and I hope they pay heed to it. But yeah, so for me, I think it'll be amazing. I'm not like Charlie. I don't want to like show really. I mean, I know you say you can do what they like, but I just think we're doing too much to try and make it, you know, lovely. It doesn't happen anywhere else. Like, do they do that before the one at the men's? Do they do that at the World Cup? Really? Do they, you know, where do they do these things that we're seeing it come across as being something that's necessary? And I don't understand what the thinking is behind, what can we do? What can we do? I get that there's probably going to be more children attending than there is maybe in the men's game, but I don't think they need to be talked down to. You know, football as a sport has been blinking wonderful since the day it began. People will like it because of the sport. Nobody should be turning up to watch the football and go, to be honest with you, I was more interested in the fact they had a light show, or I was really enjoying that saxophone in my ear. It's like, no, that's not the point. So the football should be the winner. And I have a good feeling that with this Man United team, that will be the case. So yeah, should beat it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Sorry. This question is just throwing me off. But anyway, Mia, over to yourself. How are you? Are you excited for this? Obviously, we know that you're going. You don't know where you're sat yet, but we know you're going to be in attendance as well. But how are you feeling going into this one?
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. I've been to, I think the last game, correct me if I'm wrong, that I went to anyway, that was at Old Trafford with the women's was West Ham. And I was in the press box for that. And it, you know, it was busy. They didn't do a bad job, but there's something about a derby, no matter where you are in England, if you've got a derby, it's a brilliant game. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully everyone turns up. With regards to the light show, I do agree. But I would like them to bring back when they do like dizzy penalties or something like that. If you're going to entertain the crowd at halftime, bring back something retro where you get someone from the crowd to do something weird.
Crossbar challenge.
Crossbar challenge.
We perhaps get Mia on there to sing Twist and Shout.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me the mic. Give me the light show and give me the mic. And then I'll sing Twist and Shout.
I would love to see that, to be fair. Would Luca do it again, do you reckon? Or would you need somebody else? Would you like grab someone from the crowd else?
Luca will be there in a heartbeat.
It's got to be
Will
you
not
and Luca again, isn't it? Can't be having anyone else. And maybe we'll see Jess's rendition of us as well. I remember this now. Now that's a throwback to a show ages ago when you had your Pateas. Was it Pateas or Bomber? I can't remember which player it was on your wall behind you.
No, I've got loads of shirts. Got an Italy shirt on today. Can I say?
Just float around on the team. Vic, I feel like if we got you on the pitch, you wouldn't get off. I think there would be some issue there. But to be fair, I'm all for that. As you said, a bit of half-time stuff. We see it at games, across the country anyway. I've got no issue with that. I think that'd be quite cool. And I've got no issue actually with the lights and the pyrotechnics and all those kinds of things when players are coming out. I don't see that as it's a bit weird, but it is. I don't mind that. It's when they just do light shows for the sake of it. I just think it's just no. Keep that stateside, and we'll keep what we do.
On a different channel, I'd say if you want to watch a light show, get on a bloody ferry and pop up to Norway. Northern Lights, beautiful. The Aurora Borealis, beautiful. Don't go to bloody Old Trafford for it. Get a grip.
Yes, Erling, you're right. That's what the email says anyway. So, yeah, I don't know. We shall see what that entails. To be honest, the way Old Trafford is at the moment, I'm amazed that they're going to be able to get any kind of light show going with the roof falling apart and all the other issues at Old Trafford. So
they're just going to have someone pressing the light switch for the floodlights. That's going to be it.
I was just going to say, we've got Imara saying now we don't even do that here. To be honest, I'm impressed that Borehamwood's even got lights. So, it's hard to do a light show. It's barely got a roof.
Yeah, there we go. Maybe we'll just get one sorted one day. We'll do an AFU crossbar challenge and see who wins that one. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Charlie, we just spoke a little bit about obviously the atmosphere there, and it kind of ties into this. One of the questions I see banded around, obviously, this is our first, I guess, as Barry said, their big team, if you want to call it that, at Old Trafford. Is there a slight worry that, obviously with it being at Old Trafford, that it takes away that, I guess, hostile atmosphere that we have at LSV? We know, obviously, being closer to the pitch at LSV, you do get that with the crowd there. We saw it last season in, obviously, the Arsenal game, particularly in those big games against Arsenal, Chelsea, and City. That City game in particular, going late on in that one. Do you see that as a slight issue? Do you not think it's going to make a difference? What kind of side of the fence do you sit on that one?
No, I don't think it will. I think our Lady Ballers have always performed incredibly well in the official club stadiums. We've always put on brilliant performances. I think it works in our favour. I think we play a bigger pitch really well. And I think there'll be atmosphere. The atmosphere is different when you're in a bigger stadium, but I think United always create an atmosphere. I think they can't be accused of not doing that. And that's not something City are ever used to in their own place. So any sort of atmosphere might put the frighteners on them. I think it'll be good. I think we've seen it in other games before when it's felt like it's been fairly quiet, and then people have realised the importance of it, and there's been a bit of Connor's favourite thing, which is jeopardy. And in a derby, there is all that's there from the offset, isn't it? Because it's bragging rights and stuff. So I have no doubt that there'll be a good atmosphere from the United fans, no doubt at all.
Yeah, Barry, Mia, anything to add on this particular one? Obviously, you've both been to LSV. You obviously see the atmosphere there, particularly in these bigger games. Barry, I'll start with yourself. Which side of the fence are you sat on for this one?
That's quite short, really, for me on this one. It's the atmosphere at LSV is always going to be more intense. You do lose a bit going into Old Trafford just due to the fact that some people might be dotted around. People that usually stand together to sing, some might want to go to the Stretford end because maybe they don't get the opportunity to do that very often, so they move around a bit more. And exactly that, the bigger crowds don't really know the songs, so therefore it can feel a bit more silent other than that little pocket on the pitch. But the girls always know where the fans are. They still hear the songs and it can still be loud. And when you look at the Arsenal away end that we had, I mean, goodness, they knew that we were there that day because it was just absolutely rocking. So I think it's a harder thing in terms of getting an atmosphere, but I think that is counterbalanced by the fact that you're playing at Old Trafford. You're now playing against Man City at Old Trafford. This is officially, the biggest domestic game they're going to have played. If you can't get up for that, then I don't really know why you're in the sport, to be honest with you, because these are the days on which dreams are made.
No, I think that's nicely put, John. I'm hoping you're not stood behind me then. if you're going to be, because you've got a very loud voice, so I'm hoping you are not directly behind me, so I can keep my ears. Don't want that. But yeah, to be fair, yeah, I agree with what both of you have said so far. So I'm intrigued to see if Mia's going to continue this trend now of going along with this one.
I am going to continue this trend. I think, they've been promoting this game for months, I would argue. I feel like the first game that I went to at LSV, there was promoting it. So everyone knows it's a big event. Everyone, as Barry said, the crowds at LSV at the minute are large and they are loud. And I think it being at Old Trafford is always special for the players. I think they know that. City aren't in good form either at the minute, so I think they'll have that also on their brain. I don't know. It's a derby. It's a derby that you get to play at Old Trafford, where there's 40,000 tickets sold. That is literally what you dream of when you want to be a footballer. When you're a professional football player, you want to play in front of the big crowds in world-class stadiums against your local rivals. So I think they will turn up, and I think it'll be a thrilling game.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree on that one. I think it's it's not the only thing I don't like with Tuni is when she gets subbed and everyone says her name and it sounds like they're booing her. That's come from obviously the Lionesses because it started with England. But I'm not a fan of that because it just sounds like everyone's booing her. But
yeah, she knows they're not though. Like she knows they're not.
I get that, but I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. Sing a song or something,
I think the other side of that is that he's right. It's not hard to learn it, but then it comes down to do they want to. And, nobody should be forced to sing. If you don't want to sing, you don't have to. And that's the thing. If you've got, a bit like you, Connor, if you don't want to sing, you don't have to. Whereas Mia did. So, people have got that choice. And I suppose that's the tricky part. Is finding people that need to find their voice if they want to.
You say everyone's got a choice. I didn't particularly want to go to the karaoke thing, and Jess and Mia were silently dragging me along to that. Literally, I turn around, Jess is off, Mia's just walking away with us. Oh, okay, Andrew, I guess we're going.
You didn't have to sing. Just because you were there, you didn't have to sing.
No, well, I was quite happy just singing along in our little circle that we created in there. So, didn't have to get on the mic, which I was quite happy with. Yeah, Highland, that's an interesting one, isn't it? City will have Greenwood back. After I went on Stretford Paddock and very confidently said that Greenwood won't be playing, it turns out she is. So it was recorded a few days ago, mind, but didn't have this information that we now have. So it does look like she is back as well. So that will make them a little bit stronger. But I'm still sticking by my prediction, which I will stand by when we get to that towards the end.
If you want to tell the difference between a Boo and Tooney, then see what you get when Greenwood gets the ball and what you get when Tooney gets the ball. And that's the difference.
Indeed, it's certainly we'll hear that one. Oh, now that would have been a shout. I wish I'd have thought of that. Now I still wouldn't have done it.
I want it that way.
Yeah, that's a good song to do, and that would have gone down well in there as well. I think. Yeah, I'm surprised nobody did that actually. There we are. I don't know what the next question is to move on to. Right, so I want to talk a little bit about the forward line because again, this is something that we've spoken about a lot. Obviously, Chase has now got a couple of goals. Nikita Paris is in hot form. We know what Mallard can do. Obviously, Galton off the left as well. Charlie, what front three would you be looking at for this one? Now, I'm going to ask a double-edged question. Nikita Paris, is she the one that should be for certain starting out of that front three? And what would you be doing with that, looking at this one?
I would play the same front three that we played in the previous game. In fact, I would go as far as to say I would definitely play 10 of that 11. Definitely play 10. And there is question marks over a midfielder for me just because of the quality of City's midfield. But I'd be going Paris, Jace, Galton, playing Jade high up and sitting in a 3 at the back with Hannah, which allows Paris to come in as the second forward, which was creating all sorts of problems when we've done that previously. I wouldn't change that front 3 at all.
You got me intrigued. We may as well just talk about this while we're on the topic then, because Mara's kind of followed it up in terms of the midfield. So I'll incorporate the front 6 as a whole, because I think you might have the same midfielder in mind that I'm thinking of, and it's the one change I would make. From West Ham.
And it's nothing to do with anyone having done anything wrong, but I just wonder if we would need a more physical, combative midfielder in the middle for a game like this. So it's where I wonder if Lisa Nalsund comes in. And I would say for Tooney or Miyazawa, the likelihood is it's for Miyazawa.
Yeah, me personally, I hope it is. Because, I just... Yeah, when you've got Jill Roord, Hatagara, obviously, and those lot in midfield. And it's not like Lisa's been bad. It's not like we're saying, we're just swapping Miyazawa because she's been poor. Lisa has been equally good when she's played and when she's come on. So I don't think it's that... I don't even think it's a drop-off. But it's that physicality question. Did you have a comment, Charlie? You were pointing at then. I always know when you're pointing at the screen, you're looking at.
Yeah, it was based on what you were saying. Yes, someone's just put 7 High Soul 3 as just what Hinata the Magician has to play, and she was brilliant. But I'm just basing this on the opposition and the type of game they might play, rather than it being she's played poorly. She absolutely hasn't. You don't get 100% pass success rate if you play poorly in the previous game. But I do just think we might benefit having someone like Lisa in the middle, who is just a bit more physical. I think might help us, because like Roord is an excellent footballer, but she's incredibly physical as well. And Tooney and Hinata, neither of them pull out of a challenge or anything like that. But I just think you need someone in like Lisa who will be ready for the midfield battle is what I think for this. But again, if he didn't do that, if Mark didn't do that, and it was the same midfield 3 that we played against West Ham, I wouldn't be papping my pants over it, because they've played really well together. But I just have a feeling that could be something that happens.
Yeah, I mean, Barra, first over to yourself, obviously incorporating the front 6. Paris, obviously, is a player we've spoken about for the last few weeks. Obviously, she's in hot form right now. I'm assuming you'd say, she starts on the right-hand side. And what would you be doing, I guess, with the other 2 and the 6? Or are you going to throw a complete curveball in there and say that we should be playing other players instead of the ones that we just mentioned?
Before the last games and all that jazz, I was very, very clear on my no rotation policy. We need to get ourselves sorted. And as you can see, we've got in and banged in like 12 goals or something stupid like that over the last couple of games, which has made me look a right fool, if I'm honest with you, Mark Skinner. And I'm not very impressed with you for doing that to me. But I'm big enough and ugly enough to say when I'm wrong. And clearly I was. So it's nice to see that depth has stepped up. Jay's got a couple of goals, which was really good. But we wasn't wrong about Paris. She went and scored a hat-trick. She's done incredibly well as well. So I think we are in a situation where we're starting to see these players really start to hit the ground and make good choices and do well. So I think for me personally, absolutely delighted with whatever Mark's going to go for on this one. I think he's now starting to see how all of those training sessions and everything are coming together. And I think personally, from an attacking point of view, I'm not too fussed. I do agree with Charlie. I think we are going to need somebody else like at Mia's place. Cry. Hasn't there just been one of those in the Philippines? It's a bit, maybe it's coming over here and all, I don't know. But yeah, I just think that we need to give him that trust. I would definitely go for Nalsund. I think I agree with that. Nalsund, Zellum, Tuni or Miyazawa. I think this is the sort of game where oh bless you three. I'll carry the show while you lot sort yourselves out. I think Tuni is the sort of player who's going to get up for this sort of game massively so, which is really good. So I would like to see Tuni start, but then equally Miyazawa is a cracking footballer who has the ability to get forwards and backwards. So it'd be good to see how she gets on. Front three for me, Paris, Jays / Mallard, whichever one you want to go for, and Leah Goulton, because she's just that damn good. Seems to be breathing now, so at this point I'll take over from Connor, Mia, and just hand over to you and see if there's anything you'd like to add to that.
Oh, first of all, sorry.
Winning stuff. Amazing, isn't it?
I was sitting on my foot and I lost all sense of feeling in it.
We've all been there. It's fine.
It was an emergency. I had to move. Football. Front three. I agree. Basically, do you want to move on? Because I don't have anything to add. I'm not bringing it to the table apart from a dead foot right now.
I would love if anyone new is watching this. They've heard us talk about karaoke songs and food for the first 20 minutes. Now they've got this great insight into what we think of a particular lineup. Right, I need to compose myself as well. I was going to say, pictures behind you, and that award is nicely propped on top of that picture. It's not going to take a lot to knock that down. Or have you nailed it to the wall yet?
I've blue tacked it, Connor, because it's a really stupid little frame with a gap in the middle, so it doesn't sit right. So I've had to build it essentially. So no, it's safe. Don't worry, everyone. It's all okay. It's all under control.
I need to stop laughing. That was Charlie that time was putting me on. Anyway, interesting you say this, and I said this on the Paddock show when I did my prediction. I said that she would come off the bench and score later on in the game, which I hope she does, because I think it would just be brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll come back to my prediction in just a second, obviously, when we get back to that at the end. This is an interesting comment. What do you guys think of make of Garcia on the left-hand side?
Yes.
She's more dangerous. And cut in option for goal, maybe. Go on, Charlie.
Yes, I thought that. I thought she was exceptional when she came in and played on the left, because we used to be coming in and playing on the right, aren't we? But she was brilliant, I thought, which I was expecting to come on and play on the right, and then she came on the left for Gorton, and she was incredibly dangerous. But she's so good with the ball at her feet, isn't she? She'll take a player on. Did a couple of cheeky flicks over the defender's head against West Ham, which I like. A couple of Olay moments, which I'm all for. So hopefully we'll get those on Sunday. But yeah, but just her in general, what a player to bring on. Because when we talked, we talked about the West Ham game, but imagine being that many goals down, and then there's a triple substitution happening, and you bloody look over at the sideline, and it's Melvine, the Duck, it's Garcia, and it's Big Bad Tank Rachel Williams, just soul destroying, absolutely soul destroying, isn't it?
It was absolutely soul destroying, Charlie. Yeah, it was. The two West Ham fans in the building were crying.
They were really cross, the ones that were near us. They were very cross at their team that day.
Yeah, it wasn't a good day. Wasn't it? We'll move on. Should we move on from the West Ham game?
I think we should talk about it a bit more personally. But did we ever get the results of Robin's poll, by the way, from yesterday, Mia?
For God's sake.
Oh, it's 57-43 when I voted for Manchester United.
People aren't going to have a clue what we're on about, but
it's actually really horrendous, and he's annoying.
I was going to say, there's a video of
Did you
this.
celebrate that goal?
What goal?
That one.
No. Have you not seen the reaction video? Someone took a reaction video and she scored, and I was like, I've done all but 2 United games this season, and she scores now.
Typical.
Great.
It was a worldie though, so it was allowed.
Oh,
God,
It's-
of course it was a
gonna say-
worldie. Couldn't have been a header. It had to be a worldie. Goodness gracious.
Indeed, it's. I've just checked on the poll. It was 4. There's. I can't even remember. I've just looked. I can't remember. Here we go. Yeah. So United 44, Irons 22, and then everyone 34. So you kind of split 3 ways there, with United just out ahead.
I didn't realise there was a third option. I feel like I've been missold here.
Yeah.
you don't need a third option for people sitting on the fence.
I mean,
No.
clearly I'm a Barcelona fan as well. That's been noted today already.
Mind you,
Everyone.
it's all that sitting on the fence that's causing the earthquakes at our house. So, yeah.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, Maldini.
Indeed, she's on the thumbnail this week as well. It's been a while since Millie Turner's been on one of our thumbnails, so I thought I'd make sure I get her on. And it was nothing to do with you, Mia. This is before I even asked you for the show.
I appreciate it, Connor.
I thought she's not been on for a while, and she scored last week, so let's get her on. Right, this is a kind of a quick fiery question, and then Barry, we've not done one of these for a while, and I don't usually like asking this because we don't have an opposition fan on. But we've not had an opposition fan on for this one. And I know, again, we're all United fans, so we're not really going to say a player with great ease here. But you have to swap one City player into the United starting 11. Who are you moving across?
I play with 10.
Me.
I'll play with 10.
I knew you weren't going to like this.
Can I have Haaland?
I would. I think I know who I'd go for. I think I've got 2 in mind.
Well, I seem to. Oh, sorry. Go on.
Literally none.
You got to pick one, Charlie. We're not ending this show.
I'm not doing it.
Oh no.
Well, I was just going to say the last time we did this question, this is who I said, and I'm not convinced. I've really changed my mind from it.
We've got to say who we would
Ward's
swap
a
out.
good shout.
Just pick a
I
player.
like him, but I think based on the fact we've got, defensive crises of sorts, I'm going to go with Greenwood.
But have I got to? So I need the rules of this game. That's not a very nice game. So do I have to say this? I would take this Man City player and take out this United player.
Well, they just replaced them in the 11, yeah.
No, I'm not doing that.
You don't have to say the name of the person you're taking out. We didn't
Well, if
do
I
that
say the
before.
player, then the position is you can work it out from the position.
Not really.
You might put
So,
Lauren
for
Hemp.
example, I'll take Greenwood,
Right.
put a left. That means Blundell could play right, but so could Riviere. Play the game, Charlie. Exactly.
I mean, Wheel would have been a shout, but she's gone, so we can't say her.
Right, so I'll pick a player who I think is City's best player, but I want to make it very, very clear, and I want this timestamped, that I'm not saying I would put this player in over our player.
Oh, but that's the game. They have to come straight in.
Come straight in.
Listen, I don't make the rules. I just enforce them, apparently.
Okay, fine, I've got one.
Good girl. Well done.
And this is not footballing decisions. This is just because she was a bit of a Burke over the summer. Okay? The goalkeeper. Fine.
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
Because I don't want to pick any of them for footballing reasons. Player for player, we're better than every single one of their players. So I'm picking it because she was a bit of a Burke over the summer. But Mary, if you're watching, which I'm sure you are because we know you will watch it, you're not a Burke anymore. It's fine. I've been bullied into this.
Oh, dear.
I did not write, okay, this is slander. I did not say that. Didn't say that. I'm very uncomfortable.
You know what, Charlie? I've never seen you get so upset.
Because I won't. No,
actually, were just there.
I wouldn't care if United Women were in like the Vanarama version of the Conference League, whatever it is, and City were winning every trophy, and you said you could have Pop a City player in that United team. I would still say No. No. No, no, no.
Shocking.
I would also be asking serious questions of Mark Skinner if we ended up in the Vanarama Conference League.
James has put an interesting question. He said the goalkeeper. Roebuck's currently not the starter for City. Obviously, it's Keaton at the moment.
If I had to pick between those two, I would pick the City goalkeeper that doesn't constantly get megged by back passes from her own player, from her own defenders.
That's fair. That's fair. Mia's just been sat there laughing, so I'm hoping she's got a name in mind.
I mean, whatever happens now, you two, I've just looked like such an absolute head case that you two could literally say anything and it wouldn't matter.
No, I'm not having that. You don't look like a head case.
I'm having nightmares
standing up for your team, and I love that
about how I've just behaved on camera.
See, I would have just said Hasegawa from the off, but I just think, yeah, to me, she's City's best. I think she is one of their best players. Obviously, you can go with Hemp, you can go with Shaw, but no, for me, Hasegawa. I was going to say.
I am going to go with Rord because I like her. She is good for club and country. Everywhere she's been, she's a winner. She's physical.
She's a United fan.
There you go. She's a United fan.
She's been going to OT while she's been in Manchester.
There you go. So, that's ouch for City, but yeah, I'd pick Jill Rord. Yeah, that's it.
Let's be clear, all joking aside, the players we're talking about are good players, but ultimately I do agree with Charlie. I don't think there's anybody there who you would put in, who you would genuinely sit there and go, we really need.
Oh, no, sure.
Against Chelsea, you'd look at someone like a Kerr and you go, yeah, she's going to massively improve the team. I don't think the margins are that great with this one. So, when you play the game because you have to, Charlie, then obviously you pick their best player and you go for it. And you think about what could potentially be our weakness. But 100%, I don't think for 1 second they are anywhere near the force that they were in terms of great players.
Well, that kind of leads me on to one of my final questions in terms of...
Barry, who did you say, though?
I said Greenwood.
Okay, yeah, you did.
So I went for the fullbacks because I'm thinking, we've got a couple that are out there. Gabby George getting injured, so that's
what's happened here is we've gone for ex-United captain. We've gone for, I don't know how to point for this, United fan.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
And I picked just based on someone being a bit of a prune for a week or so. Connor's the one that's actually being quite spiteful about our midfield. I just want to put that out there.
There we go.
That is really fine. On the eve of a massive game as well. Can't believe it.
Outrageous.
No chance.
Eve, so good to then go twice.
Great.
The pointings really are, I hate it.
It's really difficult. How weird would that be?
Just
that and then it did appear.
Watch us implode.
Wet Willy. It's really hard, isn't it? Really difficult.
What's going on? Anyway, Charlie, kind of one of my final questions then.
Which Man United player do you hate the most? Blah, blah, blah. Go on. What is it?
Yeah.
No, are United going into this one as favourites? Obviously, in previous years, as Barry said, obviously that City side has been stronger than we've seen, obviously, in the last kind of 12 months or so. Last season, there was talk, obviously, United would go into these kind of games now as favourites. Obviously, as more of looking at sides, not as, can we stop City? It's more, let's go and beat them. Would you say that we are in this one?
Yeah, I would like to think so. I think they are not in form, for whatever reason that might be. They're not the form team. We are a team really in form. We're really clicking into gear and playing really well. Took 4 points from the last season. I think unlucky fine margins that we didn't win at the Etihad. I think we were the much better side for most of that game. So yeah, I think we probably do go in as favourites for various reasons, and that's where we want to be. It's a privileged position to be in, to go in as favourites. You don't always want to be going into these sorts of games as the underdog. Oh yeah, it didn't, because we're not in the same room, or so she thinks. But yeah, I think we go into it as favourites. That's not me. That's not being overconfident. It's league position and how we're playing. I would say yes.
Yeah, Barry, for yourself, would you say that we are? We know it's a derby. Obviously, anything can happen. We saw last season. We went into both those games, and people were talking stuff as favourites. Obviously, last-minute winner at LSV and the draw away at the Etihad. Which, to be fair, I think most United fans at the time we were disappointed with that draw. We wanted, obviously, in the way the game went, we were certainly the better side for the majority of that one. But would you say we're favourites in this one?
Are we the favourites? Where did Man City finish in the league last year?
Is that a question to me? Well, we know where it was.
Really, there's three of you. Take a ticket. Fourth. Where do we finish? I say this because, bless her, Imara's like, I enjoy your delusional show. I honestly think we've overtaken City. We're on that situation where we are overtaking Man City. We are in, sort of neck and neck at the moment. It's going back like that. But from my mind, absolutely, 100%. We are in a stronger position, certainly, than City are. So I don't think it's a delusional thing to sit there and say that we should be the favourites for this game, especially with the fact that we've been doing as well as we have. What I will say about this season, we struggled a little bit with our results, so I can understand why some people might think otherwise. But no, for me, 100% we can be seen as the favourites. But I don't really care about labels such as favourites and underdogs. What I care about is Mark Skinner picking the best 11 that he can, making the substitutes at the right time, using his squad correctly, and getting the win. And it would be delightful if we got the win. Don't get me wrong, City are a massive team still. It's not like I'm sitting there and saying, we're streets ahead of them. Goodness me, they're not Aston Villa. It's not that sort of situation. But, it's happening. We're in there with the big girls now. So can I say that? Big girls? Are you allowed to say that on that? You know what I mean? Like the big boys, that sort of thing. I'm not calling anyone fat. Don't start.
There we are. I think as well, if City do lose it, someone just mentioned it, obviously City are on a bit of a losing streak. If they lose this one, obviously they'll have already lost 3, and no team has ever won the WSL with losing 3 games. So that would essentially, not obviously mathematically, they'd still be in the title race, but history would tell you that it would be pretty hard to win the league from that position as well.
John's just said what I was trying to say, but in a lot less words. Well done, John.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. I mean, Mia, how are you seeing this one? Obviously, you're putting United as favourite. And do you think United need to win? Do you think if United draw, it's a bit of a dampener on the day or the occasion? Obviously, we don't know how the game's going to go. It could be a snatch draw. It could be a frustrating draw. We don't know. But do you think, or we could lose? Yeah, we're not going to though. I'm hopeful. But do you think United need to win this if obviously we're going into it as favourites and obviously being the home side and things like that?
Yeah, I do think they need to win it, but I think that they will win it. I can't see United don't, apart from Gabby George and Irene, there's no major injuries. There's no one huge that is missing. The team is there. It's the same for City, but as Barry was saying earlier, that team is strong enough to beat this City team. And then when you have confidence, the way that United are scoring goals, they struggled at the start of the season. They found that net. They're all clicking together. Everyone's getting on JC's level. Mallard's coming in and just playing phenomenally. I just think that there isn't a situation where, in my head, City can win. When you're at Old Trafford, when you've got 40,000 fans, when they're going to make the noise that they're making, I think there's only going to be one outcome, and I think that's a United win.
That's a shout from Imara. We'll move on to that, and let's go for score predictions then, because Imara's going for a City 3-0. No chance. Sorry, there's no way. Charlie, what are you going for? Go on, give us your goal scorers as well while we're talking.
I think for the predictions, I went 3-1 United. I think it'll be Jace, Galton, and we'll hopefully finally get the Tooney knee slide that we've all been dreaming of, is what I think. I don't care who scores for them. We'll probably score that as well.
Barry, what are you going for?
First off, I'm a little bit annoyed because I've come onto a preview and I know full well that this question gets asked at the end of every show and I've given zero thought to it. And actually, the last two that we've done, I've been pretty good at. I've missed out by one and I got the other one spot on. So I'm starting to feel the pressure a little bit now in terms of, becoming like a guru here for the United scores. But we're going to win. That I am confident in. We probably will concede, but I'm trying to send it out to the universe that we don't. So 3-1 probably is quite a good shout, Charlie, if I'm honest with you. I think I'm going to go 3-1 with a Mary Earps hat-trick.
Not of own goals, though, Barry, no?
I don't play around with the goals. Any of them could score. I'm not. Blundell could get one from the halfway line, because she's annoyed that I've said we should get Greenwood in. So, anything could happen. Absolutely anything. I'll tell you who won't score. Mark Skinner. That'll be about it.
There's a lot of people agreeing. I know they're saying 3-1. John's saying 3-1. Obviously, you guys have both said 3-1. There's a few more 3-1s.
It's not likely to be 3-1. If everyone thinks it's going to be 3-1, it's going to be something different. Maybe I need to go 3-2. I'm not
Sport's
sure.
gone 3-1. Dave's gone 3-1. This is noticing a trend here. Mia, what are you saying scoreline wise?
I'm going 3-2 because I want it to be a real juicy game. And I think they're going to score first. And then I think it's going to be real tense. But I think United will win. And I'm going to just say one person from each. So a defender, a midfielder, and an attacker will score. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. I actually went 3-0 on the paddock prediction. I'm going to stick with 3-0. And I think it'll be Jace, Tooney, and as I said earlier, I think Williams. I think this is more of a hope than I actually think, but I'm going to stick with that because that's what I said on there. That's a shout. There we go. Which City players get sent off? Should we just say Greenwood again if she's starting? Because why not? Maybe the goalkeeper again. But it's not going to be Roebuck, is it? It's probably going to be Keaton, so maybe not. Not sure. Hopefully so. Give us a bit of an easier game. So they went down to 10 last season, didn't they, at LSV, and we made hard work of that when they went down to 10. So it doesn't always do you a favour on that one. I think that's a fair comment as well. We've been seeing, obviously, Charlie, you mentioned it earlier, with Jade playing so high, we do go to a back three with that left-hand side of City.
Yeah.
It's going to be
interesting. It'll be interesting if Hemp starts because I'm sure she's
Fowler's been playing out there, isn't she, instead of Hemp. So yeah, so potentially, I mean, Fowler's she's not maybe as good, but she's a brilliant player in her own right anyway. Don't know about that.
I could be a rich man. I genuinely believed it.
You could buy us an AFU studio, Barry, and we can all retire from our day job.
300 million to one. I'd be richer than Jeff Bezos.
Oh, can you imagine that? Where's the? That would be something.
She's definitely got that in her locker. Definitely.
Do you reckon? I shouldn't seem like an acrobatic.
Don't you doubt her, Connor. Don't you doubt her.
I don't doubt her ability. I doubt her acrobatic. To be honest. So it's not a bad thing. Many players can't score baskets, so I don't think it's a thing there. What's this coming here saying? This is why we got Jay Martin saying we signed it. Yeah, I mean, it's fair. As Charlie just said, though, Hemp hasn't been starting, so it's going to be interesting to see if it is Hemp or whether it's Fowler or who plays out there for City. I think the rest of the squad for City probably picks itself. But that left-hand side maybe is a little bit more questionable. I think the three of us are. Barry will probably be somewhere down in. I
I'll
don't
be at
know.
Letchworth, County Ground.
There you are.
Stevenage against Royston in a repeat of the County Cup final in the County Cup quarter-final. So what a day that is going to be. I am very excited. If we lose, I'll be less excited.
So there we are. So that's where Barry's going to be. But yeah, the rest of us are there. So if there is anyone watching and you do see us about, come and say hello. We are nice people, I swear. We we do like meeting some new people at games, and we can just debrief the game if you see us afterwards, or preview the game if you see us before. What's this? I don't know about that. I mean, probably, but no, there's a long way to go. Barry's convinced me that until we play Chelsea at least once, we're still in it, for me. If we then lose to Chelsea at the end of January, then for me, yeah, we're probably out of it. If we draw this and, whatever, but I don't know.
The league isn't won in November.
Yeah, we've still got to play.
It's lost in November, but it's not won in November.
There we are. That's a good way of putting it. Erling, if you do see us about, come up and say hello. I don't think we've seen you at a game before, so it'd be good to meet you if we do see you about. We won't be enjoying that, unfortunately. Some people might. I'll just put my sunglasses on or something, so I'll have to see it.
You can still see through sunglasses.
Depends what kind you wear. Yeah, bit more of a tint, yeah.
What kind are you wearing?
I don't think you're wearing sunglasses, Connor. You appear to be wearing something with black paint.
Let's just gloss over that. Right. Anyway, there was a comment I just wanted to quickly bring up. I don't know. There's the insight you're going to get from me. I think it plays into our hands if they press us, to be honest, because I think we're better on the break.
It'll happen. Nobody's going to be sitting back at that one. It should be blood and thunder to begin with. Then we'll see what it settles into.
Yeah.
I think so. And like I said, I think the latter plays into our hands anyway. And I think most top teams struggle more against a team that will sit back than one that will press us. But it'll be interesting to see that one as well. That's the kind of positivity we like. Chelsea might slip up this year. We shall see.
I said this week ago, Connor, when you were in the middle of freaking out.
Yeah, but to be fair, after that point, we just drew to Brighton. For the first draw of the season, we hadn't scored this many, the 7 and the 5 by then. But potentially, they had obviously a tough game in Europe midweek, which they're getting zero sympathy from me on because they didn't give us any. So, screw them. What's so funny about that?
Connor's had a drink yesterday.
They didn't. So, there we are. Anyway, right, should we wrap this one up? Because we'll be going for over an hour, and I think me and Mia are probably going to collapse the next half an hour.
I don't know, Charlie and I'll probably go for another couple of hours.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We've just started some live karaoke.
Maybe we'll do that over Christmas. We'll do a Christmas special, like an Airfuse sing-off or something. I don't know. Just get everybody on and do 30 seconds.
He just says these things. He just says these things. Have you noticed? You're all going to do a live X Factor on here.
Yes, please. Yes, please. I would like to do that.
Well,
there we go.
Well, as we're on that, then, if it was the X Factor, which judge would you want, Mia?
What do you mean? What judge
Which category would you want to be in? I mean, when you're in your category, so I've completely balls that question right up, haven't I? Because there's only one category you could be in. You couldn't be in, groups because you're on your own. But which person would you like managing your category?
Right, X Factor. Okay. Sharon Osbourne.
Yeah, no one's saying who we want.
You sound like a pop star. You look like a pop star.
You've got 3 yeses, and you had 4 fingers. Yeah,
He genuinely only thought there was 4 people in Boyzone.
God, thank God that show's off the TV. Let's sell that one. Indeed. you'll have something to look forward to next Monday as well, because you'll see us back on here at 7 o'clock discussing the derby, and obviously hopefully a win on that one. We have a debutant coming on Monday as well, so make sure you come in and show us some love on that one. Because
Debutants. See, this is
Indeed.
the other thing he does. All the niceties I said around this. Sometimes he does this as well. He doesn't even let us know what's going on with the shows. We've got something new coming on, but we don't know who it is.
Indeed. And Polly was in the comments. I said to her at like 3 o'clock this morning, we need to get you on a show, and we will do in the next few weeks. But so maybe not in the next few weeks. At some point, we'll get Polly on a show as well, because we're basically all for United and Vavel are basically connected, because half of the people that work for Vavel have been on this channel. So we'll make sure. Oh, hang on, my screen, Barry, you're gonna have to do the outro on that here. My screen has just zoomed right in. And I can't see a thing now. I can just see the background of this.
We can see you panicking.
Which is great. Honestly, there's no better see it.
What on earth? I don't know what's going on here. It's zoomed right into all I can see is the comment.
Sing the outro instead. Go on.
Sing the outro. Could you imagine? You and I. Great. Love it.
Oh, dear me.
It's, yeah.
Can you remove that comment, Barry? Because I can't.
There you go.
There we go. I'll leave it. I'll press it. You can press it in just a second. Anyway, yeah, we'll be back on Monday, 7 o'clock. As I said right at the start, thank you to everyone, obviously, that's watched us, voted for us, continues to support us. It's been one hell of a year. As I said, we've done a couple of Stretford Paddock collaborations, obviously, people that we've had involved. Mia, Jess as well, who people have seen on this channel a lot throughout the season, or the last year or so. She only came on at the start of the year, so another great addition to the channel there, and all the debutants that we've had this year, and the returning guests like Barry and Charlie for another year. It's been one hell of a 12 months for the channel. So yes, thank you to everyone on that one, and congrats again to Mia and to Vavel on your award as well. In that one, it's thoroughly deserved, and it was a great night to go with it as well. So yeah, I'm going to shut up and let Barry play the intro, and we shall see you guys on Monday.
All together now.